Testing, 1, 2, 3. I'm not testing the equipment. I'm actually testing my voice, just to make sure it works. Oh yes, it would appear to be functioning quite well, in fact. Hi everybody, here we go. It's time for another live English Addict from the birthplace of the English language, which of course is England. I'm back, everybody. I'm back with you again. Yes, I have been off for a few days because I wasn't feeling very well. However, I am back with you all. Back on YouTube. We are now as live can be. And it is very nice to feel alive again. You don't realise how important your health is until it goes away. Fortunately, mine has come back. So I hope you are feeling super duper today. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? Well, I am definitely happy because I'm back with you again. Live on YouTube. I can't begin to tell you how happy I feel to be here with you again. Right here on YouTube. And of course, let us not forget we are halfway through the week. A big week this week happening here in the UK. Something very big happening on Friday. However, we won't worry about that at the moment because today it's Wednesday. Okay, I'm going to be honest, my voice isn't 100%, but it is much better than it was a couple of days ago. I couldn't speak at all a couple of days ago. I was in bed, feeling really unwell, and that's the reason why I wasn't with you on Sunday, because I was feeling dreadful, and it was my own fault. I know what happened. I did my live stream last Friday, and that was one live stream too far. I think I overdid it. So that's the reason why I think I became more ill after doing last Friday's live stream. However, I don't feel too bad. My voice has returned. I would say that my voice capacity is around 85, maybe 90%. So I still have a little bit more of an improvement to make. However, I am here. I hope you are feeling super duper. A very big week here in the UK. For those who have been following the news, on Friday, the UK will be leaving the European Union officially. In fact, we have our little Brexit countdown clock. Would you like to see it? There it is. 2 days, 8 hours, 52 minutes and 11 seconds before we officially leave the European Union. So you can see the countdown is already happening. It is happening on Friday, which of course is one of my broadcast dates. One of my days of the week when I am on YouTube. And for those who are wondering, yes, you can catch me live on Sunday, Wednesday and Friday. So a big event taking place this Friday as we officially leave the European Union. Some people here in the UK still don't feel very happy about it, whilst others are quite overjoyed. However, there are quite a few problems already occurring concerning certain business deals, certain things that we are doing with certain countries around the world. So already we are having lots of difficulties with our relationships between the European Union, which we will be saying goodbye to on Friday, and also other countries around the world, including the USA. So a lot of confusion already. And it hasn't even officially happened yet. So even though we do actually leave on Friday, it won't actually become official until the end of the year, as I understand it. However, to be honest with you, I don't think anyone understands any of this. You watch people on TV pretending to understand what it all means. However, I am pretty sure that a lot of people don't have a clue. So there it is. The countdown is happening. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yes. Can you see it? Ticking on your screen. 2 days, 8 hours, 50 minutes. Exactly until we leave the European Union, which is happening at 11 p.m. on Friday, UK time. So that going on, I will be with you. I will be here on Friday with my usual live stream. It's great to be back. I really couldn't wait. I was so excited this morning when I woke up because the sun was out. However, the sun is not out at the moment. It is looking rather gloomy outside right now. In fact, I think it's starting to rain. It looks as if the rain is starting to fall outside. A very windy, quite blustery day. A lot of strong wind. And we've had some showers as well. And there is another view looking into the distance. One of the famous landmarks in the place where I live. So things are looking a little murky, a little dull and very cold. It really does feel as if winter has arrived. I'll be honest with you. It really does feel as if winter has finally arrived here in the UK. Hello to the live chat. Hi, live chatters. It's nice to see you here. Hello to Sweetness Mitra. A big hello to you. Congratulations, you are first on today's live chat. Nice to see you here. I am feeling happy, not too bad, thank you very much. Martha in Poland is here. Cecilia Demuse is here. Nice to see you back. I think I saw you before. By the way, if it is your first time, please let me know. Hello also to RHS Eric. I hope you feel better. I'm not too bad, thank goodness. It wasn't the coronavirus, for those who were worried and wondering about my health. It was nothing like that. It was just your normal, average, stinking, horrible cold, which I have now shaken off. Alamgir is here also. Oh, Pedro, it's Pedro Belmont. Pedro is here today. Of course, I always have to give a little song to Pedro to cheer him up. Hello also to Handau. Hello, Handau. Nice to see you here as well. Florence. I love your name, by the way. Florence. Ooh, very nice. Belarusia is also here. Hello to you. It's nice to be back. Fruit Zombie. Oh, hello, Fruit Zombie. Today, by the way, we are looking at quite a few things today. We are looking at the differences between this, that, and those. Oh, where have I gone? I seem to have disappeared. Come back, Mr. Duncan. Oh, there I am, yes. Sorry about that. We are looking at the differences between this, that, these, and those. Also, another confusing part of English, the differences and when to use which, who, and that. So when do we use these things? We'll be looking at it a little bit later on. So lots of things to keep you busy. Another thing I want to mention today, do you ever go to your local supermarket or your local shop with a voucher or coupon? So do you collect coupons? And quite often here in the UK we will get coupons or vouchers through our letterbox. And the reason why these are given out is to tempt us to visit the shops. So what they want us to do, they want to go along to their shops and buy things, and they will give us some discount. So quite often there are many types of voucher that can be given or sent, or even sometimes you might buy a voucher. So what about you? Do you ever use vouchers? Do you ever use these vouchers? There are many different types of voucher that you can use. There's another one. So that particular voucher you can see now on screen is giving you 50% off the price of whatever it is that is being sold. So what about you? Do you ever use vouchers? And let's look at the words. You have the word coupon. So coupon is something that you can have and use for something in return. You can exchange your coupon for something else. So maybe you can get something for free, or perhaps you can get some discount as well. And we have the word voucher. The second word you can see there. Beep, there it is, voucher. So again, very similar to coupon. These two words have very similar meanings. And quite often, if you have a coupon or a voucher, it will give you discount. Quite often, you have a discount offer. So something that you take to your shop, something that you use to get an item or maybe your groceries at a lower price, you will get a sort of discount. So what about you? Do you ever use coupons or vouchers when you go shopping? Some people are crazy about them. Some people are obsessed with vouchers and coupons, and they will often cut them out of magazines or out of the newspaper, and they will collect them, and then they will go shopping or they will send off for a special offer by using their vouchers or coupons. So what about you? Now, I know many years ago it was seen as a thing that women did. So housewives would often collect coupons, and then they would go to do the shopping, or they would buy things with some nice discount on top. Very nice. So a voucher is something that you can use in exchange for an offer, service, or maybe an item. Sometimes a voucher will allow you to have something for free, so you won't have to pay for it at all. So quite often restaurants will give you a voucher because they want you to come back. So if you have a lovely meal in a restaurant, they will often give you a voucher which will give you discount when you return. So they want you to come back. What they are trying to do is get your loyalty. It's a great word. I like that word. Loyalty. So when we talk about loyalty, we are talking about you staying with that thing or that person. So you remain loyal to that company, that restaurant, or that shop. So quite often we will give vouchers for many reasons. Quite often we will give vouchers or a token or something that will offer discount the next time you come into the restaurant or the shop. Sui Z says, I want to ask if he teaches with an American accent. Well, what you should do is ask yourself that question. Do I sound like an American? So if you don't know the difference, then this is it. This is my accent. So is it American English or British English? To be honest with you, it doesn't really matter, because 95% of all English is the same, whether it is American English or British English. There is only one English language. However, there are many different accents. So there you go. Hello, Christelle. Mr. Duncan, how is your mother? Does she feel better? I won't talk too much about it. I don't want to talk about this because it's a private thing away from YouTube. So I will say that not much has changed, and that's it. That's all I'm saying about that. Hello also to Palmyra. Many people prefer to buy something on the cheap. Oh, I like that. Yes, if you buy something on the cheap, I love that expression. It means you get it at a good price. You get good discount. So if you buy something on the cheap, it means you pay just a little amount of money, a small amount, or maybe the price has been reduced. Helena, Mr. Duncan, do you know that vitamin D is recommended for people who live in areas where the sun doesn't shine very much? Well, we do get sunshine here, even during winter. Thank you, Helena. In fact, Mr. Steve mentioned this the other day. He was also talking about vitamin D because he thought that the reason why I got this cold, this fever, is because I was deficient in vitamin D. So it's very strange that you should mention that. Very interesting, because Steve was talking about the same thing the other day. Hello also to Luis Mendez. Hello, Luis. Nice to see you here today. The UK Parliament and the EU MPs will stop their jobs in the Strasbourg Parliament. One interesting thing that is going to happen is because we have representatives in the European Union Parliament, but when we leave on Friday, their jobs will disappear. They won't have jobs anymore because we won't be part of Europe. So because we're leaving, the members who are British citizens representing the UK in the European Parliament will no longer exist because we won't be part of the European Union. That is what is happening on Friday. We are ticking down. The clock is ticking, as you can see, towards Brexit, which is happening on Friday. However, it won't be until the end of the year before we start seeing the real effects of leaving the European Union. What will the effects be? What will happen? Nobody knows. Isn't it exciting? Ooh, I can't wait. I really can't. Yes, there are many accents in the UK. There are many accents of English all around the world. So as you travel around the world, you will always hear English spoken in different ways. However, the base of the English, or the root of the English, will be the same. There is only one English language. Only one. However, there are many variations as to how it is spoken, depending on the accents. Thank you very much. Hello, Asker. It is a lovely day. It isn't too bad here. It's not too bad. Hello, Christelle. Thank you very much also for your health advice. I'm feeling much better, thank you. The worst part of having a cold is when everything starts to become sore, inflamed, painful, especially my throat. I don't know why. Whenever I have a cold, whenever I get a fever, it always goes straight to my throat. I think it's because I use my voice quite a lot. That might be the reason why. Hello to Jamelia. Hello, Jamelia. Nice to see you again as well. Thank you very much. Thank you also to... Oh, hello. Palmyra says, I reckon that there are some businesses about vitamin D because medics always talk about the lack of this vitamin, even in Australia, where they have lots of sunlight. So I think vitamin D is one of those things that you can be deficient in. That means you don't have enough of it. So it is something that a lot of people maybe forget about. We always think about vitamin C because it is present in many things. However, vitamin D can sometimes be hard to obtain, especially if you live in a place where there isn't much sunlight. So a lot of things to talk about today. I suppose we should mention one of the biggest news stories of recent times. A lot of people affected by the outbreak of the coronavirus in China. One particular area called Wuhan, which is where apparently it all started. This reminds me of SARS, way back in 2003, almost exactly the same time of year. So I remember way back in 2003 when SARS broke out, and a lot of people are saying that the coronavirus that is affecting people now is very similar to the SARS virus from 2003. Teacher, you have the most clear and excellent British accent. Thank you, Beatrice. That is very kind of you to say. So we're looking at the differences between these particular words. So there are a lot of words that people become confused with or confused by. So we have this, that, these, and those. Some very interesting words. So this can be used in many ways. It can be used as a pronoun and also as a determiner. So you can say what this thing is. You can say what this thing does or will do. You can also point to something and say, that is mine. And quite often we will say this as the pronoun. So let's have a look at some examples, shall we, whilst we are talking right here on YouTube. So here is the use of this as a pronoun. Quite often we use this to describe a thing that is close at hand or nearby. So something that is close, something that is nearby, maybe it is in front of you, maybe it is very close to where you are standing or sitting, something that is nearby. For example, is this your bag? So you are referring to something that is nearby and visible. Is this your cat? This is not my car. I think this milk has gone sour. When we say sour, it means bad. So something has gone rotten. Something has become bad. It has become inedible. Something cannot be eaten or drunk because it has gone sour. So the word this is referring to something that is nearby. This. Is this your bag? Is this your cat? This is not my car. I think this milk has gone sour. This can also be used when introducing someone or something. So you can use the word this. It can be used when introducing something or someone, a situation that has occurred or is occurring. You might be showing someone your new car. You might be expressing the willingness to give someone something nice. You might be introducing your friend to someone. You might also be making an announcement where you are introducing yourself. For example, this is my new car. You are introducing your new car. You are showing your new car to someone or some people. This is your surprise. You are showing the thing that you have bought for someone. This is your surprise. You are showing someone a thing that you have bought for them. Maybe you are introducing your friend. This is my friend, Steve. This is my friend, Steve. So in this situation, you might use your hand or your finger to show the person as you introduce them. This is my friend, Steve. Maybe you are on a plane and you are about to take off. The captain of the plane will introduce himself or herself. This is your captain speaking. This is your captain speaking. So these are all introducing things. They are all being used to introduce something. This can also be the nearer of two things close to the speaker. Now this is a very interesting point to make. Quite often we will have things around us. However, the difference between all of those things is they are at different distances. So maybe we will refer to something nearby and then we will refer to something that is far away. This is nearby. That is far away. This, that, this, that. So quite often we use this to show something that is nearer to the speaker, the thing that is nearer than something else. So Mr. Steve is over there. He's far away. I am here with these or this. This is near. That is far away. This, that. So quite often we will use those two words and they will often refer to things that are either near to us, this, or far away, or more distant, that. For example, this one is better than that one over there. This one is better than that one over there. So you are comparing the nearest thing to something that is further away. This one is better than that one over there. This dress looks much better than that awful blue one. This dress looks much better than that awful blue one. This dress looks much better than that awful blue one. So you can see that this is being used to show the thing that is nearest to you. You are comparing one thing with another. I can't tell the difference between this one and that one. So again, you are comparing two things. Maybe one thing is close to you and the other thing is far away. I can't tell the difference between this one and that one. Back to the live chat very briefly. Oh, hello, Florence. Unfortunately, Florence has to go. That's not very nice. I hope to see you again later. After all these days lying in bed, suffering. Broken Boy. Hello, seeing you here is such a pleasure. Thank you very much. Nice to see you here as well. Hello, also TS. Hello, TS. Nice to see you back again. Yes, I am here, but unfortunately, I haven't been very well. And that's the reason why I wasn't here on Sunday. That is the reason why I was away. If you want to get in touch, by the way, you are more than welcome to do so. You can send me an email. You can also, I suppose you can follow me on Facebook, because I do have a Facebook page. And if you want to send a donation to my PayPal to help my work continue, you can. I'm just drinking some water. Give me a moment. I'm drinking some water. Don't forget also you can like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing now on your screen. If you like this, then why not like and subscribe? I would really appreciate it. It would be ever so nice. Thank you very much for that. Hello, Irene. Hello also to Rosa. Hello, Rosa. Hi, everyone. I am late. Don't worry about being late. I don't mind. You can be late. Sometimes it is better to be late than never. That's what I say. Hello, Pedro, who says, Broken Boy and TS is here. Broken Boy. Oh, hello there. Nice to see you back as well. I haven't seen you on the live chat for quite a long time, in fact. Hello also to Semi. Hello, Semi. You look very well today. I think you are not sick anymore. I feel great. However, my throat is still a little rough, unfortunately. So if my voice does sound a little rough, that is the reason why. But no, I am feeling so much better today. I can't begin to tell you how relieved I felt this morning when I woke up, and I really felt quite well for the first time in many days. Cecilia is here. Thanks a lot as well. We are having so much rain here in Belo Horizonte. Yes, I've seen that actually on television. So yes, they did mention that actual place. Can you believe it? Hello, Pedro. Hello also to Irene, who says a big hello to you. Thank you very much. We are talking about uses of this and also the way it connects with the word that. This can also refer to something that has been referred. So it is referring to a thing that has just been mentioned. So maybe you are having a conversation with someone and you mention something and then you bring up the topic again after talking about it. So maybe you will find other people doing the same thing, referring to a thing that has just been mentioned. So let's have a look at some examples, shall we? Okay, I don't mind. I used to listen to stories of travellers finding themselves, and this has always inspired me. So you can see that we are talking about a subject, and then we are referring to it again at the end of the sentence. I used to listen to stories of travellers finding themselves, and this has always inspired me. So if you find yourself, I suppose I should explain what that means. To find yourself is to discover your true identity. If you find yourself, it means you discover who you really are. Maybe things that you didn't realise you could do. So you can find yourself by doing something different, maybe having a change of scenery or a change of career. You might find yourself. Another example of using this to refer back to a subject, I asked you to give him a call, but this was not done. So we are naming or mentioning a topic, and then we are referring to it again in the subject. I asked you to give him a call, but this was not done. So I asked you to phone the person, however, this was not done. So you are referring once again to the thing that was mentioned at the start of the sentence. We could also use this as a determiner in another way of using these. So this tends to be a singular thing. These are often plural. So this thing, these things. These are the things that I want to talk to you about. This is the thing that I want to talk to you about. So this is often used as singular. These are often used as plural. I hope you understand that, because I'm moving on now. So this can be used to identify a specific person or thing nearby, or being indicated or experienced. So something that is close to you, something that you are pointing out, or something that you have experienced. So there are many ways of using this particular clause. For example, don't listen to this guy. Don't listen to this guy. Don't listen to this guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So don't listen to this guy. We are saying, I already know that that person is not worth listening to. I am telling you, don't listen to this guy. As soon as I saw her, I thought, this girl will be mine, or is mine. As soon as I saw her, I thought, this girl is mine. Ooh, actually, that sounds a bit creepy. It sounded like a lovely sentence in my head, but now, as I'm reading it, it seems a little bit creepy. I've seen this guy before. I've seen this guy before. So again, we are referring to something that we have already experienced. Something we have already experienced. This can also be used with periods of time related to the present or now. This can be used with periods of time related to the present. What we are talking about there is a moment of time relating to where we are now in the present. Let's have a look at some examples. For example, I thought you were busy all this week. 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 So when we talk about this week, we are talking about the week that we are in, or maybe the week that is coming to an end, or maybe we are at the end of the week and we are saying, I thought you were busy all this week. Now you know that we are still in the week because we use the word this week. If it was another week, it would have been last week or next week. However, because we are still in the same week, we say this week. We will have to cut spending after this month of poor sales. We will have to cut spending after this month of poor sales. This means that because we did not sell many things, or maybe our sales were down, we will have to make cuts. Maybe we will have to get rid of some of our employees. Maybe we can't spend as much money as we did before. We will have to cut spending after this month of poor sales. So you are relating or referring to a particular moment of time. In this particular case, it is the month that has just passed. How are you this morning? Well, this is a simple one. You might hear a lot of people refer to the day that you are actually in. How are you this morning? How are you this morning? So this is said in the present tense because you are saying, how are you this morning? So it is happening right now. It is happening right now. This can also be used informally in speech to draw attention to something. So this is an interesting way of using this informally. And you will see that the sentences do not look correct grammatically. However, they are often used in English. I turned round and there was this big, horrible creature looming over me. And no, it wasn't Mr. Steve. I turned round and there was this big, horrible creature looming over me. So if something is looming, it means it is standing over you. Maybe the thing is larger than you. I turned round and there was this big, horrible creature. So you can see the use of this is drawing attention to the thing that you are talking about. However, quite often this is used informally. So quite often this is not used in formal English. I have lived in this here house for over 50 years. I have lived in this here house for over 50 years. Again, the grammar is not exactly correct. However, we can use this informally to draw attention to the thing we are talking about. There was a shoe shop and there was this antique shop next door. Again, grammatically, it would appear incorrect. However, informally in English, we will often use this. There was a shoe shop and there was this antique shop next door. So again, you are drawing attention to the thing that you want to stress. And in that particular sentence, it is the antique shop next door. The word antique means old, something that is old and out of date. As you can see, I am already coughing. Palmyra says, I love this and I use this word too. Oh, too much. You can say this too much. This beautiful day, this wonderful moment, this refreshing bottle of water. But if the thing you are talking about is not nearby, you can say that. That beautiful picture. That beautiful girl. That beautiful house. Because it is something that is far away. It is not nearby. Broken Boy, says Mr. Duncan, I think you should have been daily start your live stream. Oh, I think Broken Boy is saying that I should do my live stream every day. I'm not sure about that. I don't know about that. Eric says the virus will not last because it was made in China. Oh, I see what you did there. I know what you did. Because quite often we think of things that are made in China as being inferior or of poor quality. That may have been true in the past. I'm not sure about nowadays, because it would appear that in many areas China is actually overtaking many Western countries. So yes, maybe in the past, when we bought something that was made in China, we would often think, or we would see it as something that was of poor quality. However, nowadays I think you might find that that might not be always the case. But I know what you were doing there. It was a joke. Thank you, Eric, for your joke. Sweetness says, a very useful live stream. I love this lovely lesson. Thank you very much. I'm glad that it's useful to you and also for you. We can use this as an adverb. Ooh. But how, Mr. Duncan? How can we use it as an adverb? So we can say this to indicate the degree or state indicated. So this can be used to the degree or state indicated. You are saying how big, large, or how strong something is. We will often use the word this as an adverb. For example, they can't handle a job this big. They can't handle a job this big. I will say it fast. They can't handle a job this big. So handle means to do something, to handle something. How well you cope, how easy something is for you to do. If you can't handle it, it means you find it difficult to do. They can't handle a job this big. So when we say this, we are describing the thing and how big it is, or how enormous the thing is. So they can't handle a job this big. He's not used to this much attention. He's not used to this much attention. I will say it quickly. He's not used to this much attention. So he is not used to this much attention. What it means is normally he is a shy person, and normally he doesn't meet many people. He doesn't go out into the public. Maybe he is not used to people looking at him. He is not used to this much attention. So this much is showing, it is indicating the size of something. So we know that the thing in question is larger than it normally is. He is not used to this much attention. I can't remember when I last had this much fun. I can't remember when I last had this much fun. This much fun indicates that This fun that I'm experiencing is more than I've experienced in the past, or for a very long time. I can't remember when I last had this much fun. Hello to Fruit Zombie. You can't handle the truth. Yes, that is a quote from a movie starring Jack Nicholson called A Few Good Men. Ah, you see, I knew that. Luis Mendez says, this as an adverb is used mostly in negative clauses. Yes, quite often we will use it to stress negativity when we are talking about the amount of something. Yes, I think you are right there. It is fair to say that quite often we will use it in the negative sense. Another thing to briefly look at, and I want to explain this in a lot of detail. So this might be a little confusing for some people. However, you can watch it again. You can watch it again later. So this is something I want to explain because I have actually been asked. I've been asked to talk about the differences between which, who, and that. Which, who, and that. And when to use them. Now, there are situations where you don't have to use that in a sentence, even though it might appear that you do need to use it. So there are situations where you don't have to use that to express something. And I will briefly explain this. So I hope you are ready, because we're doing it right now. The word that can be omitted in Standard English, where it introduces a subordinate clause, as in, she said she was satisfied. So you can see there that we have left out the word that. So we don't have to use it. The word that can be omitted in Standard English, where it introduces a subordinate clause, the clause that comes after, as in, she said she was satisfied. She said she was satisfied. So you can actually leave out, you don't have to use the word that. It can also be dropped in a relative clause where the subject of the subordinate clause is not the same as the subject of the main clause, as in the book that I've just written. The book and I are two different subjects. So the book I've written, the book that I've just written. You do not have to use the word that. You can actually leave it out because the book and I are two different subjects. You are joining them together, but they are two different subjects. So there is no need to use that in the middle. You don't have to. And this is an area of English that a lot of people ask me about. And that's the reason why I want to take you through it in great detail. Where the subject of the subordinate clause and the main clause are the same, use of the word that is obligatory, as in the woman that owns the place. The woman is the subject of both clauses. So the woman is the owner. So both of those things refer to her. It is sometimes argued that in relative clauses, that should be used for non-human references. And this is something I want to really point out, because this is one of the things that many people argue about when it comes to the English language. So I will say that again. It is sometimes argued that in relative clauses that should be used for non-human references. So instead of saying who, we can say that. While who should be used for human references, this is not always the case. In fact, you will find quite often that it isn't. So you can use that even when you are referring to a human being or a person. A house that overlooks the park, but the woman who lives next door. So the house is an object. So it would seem appropriate to use the word that. A house that overlooks the park. But the woman who lives next door. So it is often assumed that if you are talking about an actual item, you will use that. If you are talking about a person, you will use who. This is often thought to be the right way of doing it. In practice, while it is true to say that who is restricted to human references, the function of that is flexible. So it's worth remembering that whilst we often say who when we are referring to a human or a person, the function of that, the word that, is flexible. That is to say that you can use it. It has been used for human and non-human references since at least the 11th century and is invaluable where both a person and a thing is being referred to, as in a person or thing that is to believed to bring bad luck. So maybe a person or thing that can bring bad luck. So in both of those sentences we can use the word that. A person or thing that is believed to bring bad luck. You can see that the word that is used instead of who. A person that is believed to bring bad luck. So we don't always use the word who when we are talking about something relating to a person. It isn't always the case. Another interesting question, is there any difference between the use of that and which in sentences such as any book that gets children reading is worth having, and any book which gets children reading is worth having? So do we use that or do we use who or which? The general rule in British English is that. In restrictive relative clauses, where the relative clause serves to define or restrict the reference to the particular one described, which can replace that. So one thing can replace the other thing, or one thing cannot replace the other thing. It depends on how you are using the sentence. Finally, however, in non-restrictive relative clauses, where the relative clause serves only to give additional information, so you are just giving extra information, that cannot be used. This book, which is set in the last century, is very popular with teenagers, but not this book that is set in the last century is very popular with teenagers. So let's have a look at the correct one. The correct one in this particular case is which. Which. In US English, which is generally used only for non-restrictive relative clauses. So again, we were talking earlier about the differences between some of these uses. Quite often the words are the same, but sometimes the grammar is different. So the uses of which and also that depend on whether or not extra information is going to be given or is being given. So now you can see, not all of English is easy. I had someone complain last week. They said, Mr. Duncan, your points on grammar are sometimes very easy. So I thought today we would do something that was a little difficult. Something difficult, just for a change. Pedro is going. Oh, where are you going, Pedro? Pedro is going somewhere. I wonder where Pedro is going. So when we talk about the uses of which and that, quite often, if we use which, it means we are going to give more information. More information. Whereas that is stating a fact, and there is no more information to be given. Hello to Irene. Hello, Broken Boy. Thank you very much for joining me today. My throat is a little better today. Not too bad, thank you very much. Christelle says this lesson is difficult indeed. Well, I have had some requests to talk about things that are more difficult to explain, so I hope it was helpful. Lewis says, is defining or non-defining the same thing as restrictive and non-restrictive? Well, something that is defining something is showing the way in which it is constructed, or maybe the way it is used. If you are not defining something, then you are just saying the word without giving any extra information. So, restrictive and non-restrictive. Well, again, the words themselves give you a clue. Hello how says, hello, how are you? Hakimi. Is it your first time here? I'm just wondering if it is. Hello also to Christelle. Netra says, it all sounds complicated. It is, because grammar can be very complicated. Now, I don't like to talk too much about grammar, because the reason is, and this is the reason why I often avoid talking about grammar, is because it will confuse quite a few people. So if I explain the same things over and over again, it is much easier to remember. However, if I talk about grammar clauses and the way in which words are supposed to be used in certain sentences, I think people will start turning off and tuning away. So that's the reason why. As long as you can go into a shop and buy a loaf of bread, as long as you can walk down the road and say hello to your friend using the English language, then for me, that is the most important thing of all. Anna says the use of which and that is quite often confusing. So that is a statement that doesn't need any more information. Which quite often will lead to more information being given. So I hope I've explained that clearly. But this is something that happens quite often. I've seen many people on YouTube, many teachers teaching grammar, and quite often, by the end of the lesson, the subject becomes even more confusing than it was at the beginning of the lesson. So this is something that can be confusing for those learning the English language. Most people will say that grammar is the worst part of learning English, and I think it might be true. The other one, of course, is the practical part of speaking. So the theory of grammar and the practical use of English when speaking are, for most English learners, the hardest parts of the English language. I think so. I think it would be very fair to say that. Hello, Ernesto. Hello also to Anna. Hello, Sally. Hello, Sally. I didn't see you here. Nice to see you back again. I will be going soon because, well, for two reasons. One, I want to rest my voice. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to do this too much because I might ruin my voice. Hello also to Zhong Wu, who is going now. Bye everyone. Thanks, Mr. Duncan. Good health. Zhong Wu Lee. I wonder where you are. Just to mention, the real English addicts are tough guys on the inside. They need more sophisticated cases to be taught more than mere beginners. Thank you, Valentin. I suppose whilst I'm here, I should mention my website. I am hoping to launch my new website on Sunday. Are you intrigued? So I'm hoping to make public my website this Sunday. So Sunday that is coming just around the corner, I am hoping to make it public on Sunday. However, don't worry, I will also be with you on Friday. Hopefully, if my voice is still working, I will also be with you on Friday from 2 p.m. UK time. And don't forget, this week, the UK will be leaving the European Union. And there you can see we are already counting down 2 days, 7 hours, 49 minutes and 40 seconds before we leave the European Union. So I will be with you on Friday and we will be talking a little bit about Brexit because I suppose it is something that is happening. 1 or 2 people don't even know what Brexit is. So I will talk about that later on. Yes, my website, hopefully, I am keeping my fingers crossed. Hopefully, on Sunday, my website will be published. It will be available from Sunday. We will see what happens. Thanks for your company today. Thank you to Yasser. Hello, Mr. Duncan. As you said previously, it all depends on practice. We have to make English a part of our everyday life. It is true. So not only theory, but also practical. So try to make English something that you don't just learn, but you also do. So try to get used to actually doing English. Instead of just thinking about English, you must also do English as well. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Zuzika. Thank you very much to Rosa, Lewis. Bye-bye, Mr. Duncan. See you on Friday. I will see you on Friday, hopefully, if my voice is still working. I do feel much better. Thank you for your lovely messages concerning my health and also my mother as well. I will see you on Friday. Thank you very much for your company today. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying thanks for watching. Thanks for being with me. And you know what's coming next? Yes, you do. Can you see? My hand is already waving. Ta-ta for now.